with the story of Abraham when he was going to offer Isaac as a sacrifice, and God provided the lamb. My message was that although I was going for surgery, God was going to offer a lamb to be sacrificed, and I was not going to feel pain. This gave me courage, and surgery took place successfully. I did not go for work for 5 days since the wound from the surgery needed to heal. However, on the sixth day, I drove myself to work. I must mention to you listeners that going for surgery was very scary to me because I had not undergone any operation since I was born, and so this was very scary. The only things I had witnessed being slaughtered were cows and chicken, and this time to me it meant that my body was to be slaughtered just like those of animals. But I thank God that he encouraged me in his own way. At the workplace, God gave me favor with my working colleagues. They performed most of the work as I could see that I did not have enough strength to work. I, however, needed to go to work so that I could earn some income to pay house rent and other bills. When I look back, I realize I was sustained by God's mercy, because when driving, I had to hold the belt not to touch the operated breast before the wound was healed completely. After the surgery, I was referred to 2 doctors, one for radiation and the other for chemotherapy. When I consulted the chemotherapy doctor, she explained to me that she needed to order for oncotype DX test, and it was to be done in California state. This test was to determine whether chemotherapy was necessary. The results took about 2 weeks before they came out. And during this time, I was praying to God that the results would confirm that I did need chemotherapy, as I had seen what people were going through, those who are having chemotherapy done. To my horror, results indicated that chemotherapy was necessary because I fell in the middle of the ledge, which was interpreted to mean that chances of cancer recurring for me were ranging from 12% to 15%. The interpretation of this meant that I had 85% chances of living. I explained to the doctor that God will take care of all that, and I know and I'm assured that I have 100% chances of living. I want to tell you, listeners, that it does not matter what the doctor says. Our God is the one with the last word about your life. So the doctor explained to me that the pathological study of the 3 lymph nodes removed from my body during surgery indicated that 2 of them had cancer, and it was not known if it had spread into other parts of the body. And so, according to the doctor, I did not have any other option than to go through chemotherapy treatment and also have some hormonal therapy medication. On 20th October 2011, chemotherapy was started, and I received 4 cycles, which took 12 weeks and ended on 23rd December. As I went through this journey of chemotherapy, it was the most difficult time of my life, and at one point I felt I needed to tell the doctor to stop the medication, because when I watched my body, I was becoming more disabled than I was before. My hands could not lift anything from the floor as the nails were coming out. They were numb. I lost hair from my head. And I felt that the drugs I was taking were leading me to death. So I decided to share this with a friend who supported me, and we went to the doctor. And we asked the doctor what would happen if the medication was stopped. And the doctor explained that there was no other alternative of this medication, because the other medication that would have been an option had more side effects than what she was currently administering. At that point, my friend and I discussed and realized that I had gone too far to stop the medication. So at least I got the moral support from my friend just to continue and see what the Lord would do. And so as I'm talking today, I must say that God took charge. I may not be able to explain all what happened during the treatments. As I said, this is just a summary, as it was a very painful journey, and only God knows how he sustained me. After the chemotherapy was over, I had to proceed for radiation, and radiation started on 23rd January 2011, and it took 7 weeks. I had to go from Monday through Friday every day for 15 minutes each day. And I must say that as the radiologists were setting me so that the radiation could be done, they kept on telling me to stay still. And when I heard those words in my ears, I took the words and interpreted that it was God talking to me and telling me, stand still and see my salvation. So as I talk to you listeners, I must say that I took every word that I had uttered along this journey, every book that I read, and it started working in my life. I took everything positively, and it's the same advice I would give to everyone who may be going through challenges. I fed on vegetables, fruits, fish, chicken, and kept away from red meat. I also drank a lot of liquids to remove toxins from the body, as the toxins were causing a lot of pain. As I write this story, I'm totally healed, as the mammogram I attended in April 2012 was negative. I'm currently on hormonal therapy and anastrozole, which will continue for 5 years. And I must say, when I heard that this medication will continue for 5 years, that shocked me, because I know that every medication has side effects. I saw 5 years to be such a long journey, but I gave myself courage, and I didn't have any other option. The doctor explained the reasons for this, and I decided to cooperate with what the doctor advised me to do. I must say about the medication, I am now 3 years from the time I started taking this medication, and there has not been any serious side effects. And I look forward to the 2 years coming to an end. And I say this to encourage anyone who may find herself walking the same journey. By God's grace, I attended a paralegal course at Highline Community College, and it was fully paid for by Department of Vocational Rehabilitation. God has put a desire in me to be a policy advocate for the less privileged and for human rights in general. And that's why I chose to go for a paralegal class, so that I would know the right language I need to use as I serve as an advocate. Throughout this healing journey, I have seen the faithfulness of the Lord. Every morning as I wake up, I have been asking God to renew my bodily and spiritual strength. And I refer to the words in Isaiah 40:1. And reminding him that my body is his temple, and he cannot dwell in a sick body. I pray that everyone that faces challenges may not be bitter, but instead pray to be better, as I know that most of these challenges, they turn our life around, and sure enough, just like that life of Job, it will be better than before. I've seen God do a new thing in my life and have learned valuable lessons, all of which need to be compiled in a book, as they cannot be contained in this short story. I'm now 3 years breast cancer survivor, and I give God all the glory. My work as I continue to live is to encourage women to keep going for yearly mammogram checkups and to give them moral support. We all know that early detection increases chances of survival. When God calls someone for a mission, he equips the person. I had always desired to be a motivational speaker, but I did not have a specific area to narrow down to and speak with passion and authority. Now there is no doubt that God wants me to champion the cause of cure and prevention of breast cancer and his supremacy on earth. Now, through my breast cancer experience, when I'm addressing people facing the same predicament, they can identify with me because they will be hearing it from the horse's own mouth. Thanks be to God, a mission has been born, and out of divine healing and purpose of my second chance of survival. Listeners, I want to urge you to share the love that God has put in each one of us with the entire world. As I add, I want to thank all the people that given me support in this journey, starting with the doctors, whom God has used graciously, the nurses, friends, family, the church, and even David Chiu, who is recording this story. May God bless you all.